Have you ever wondered why some people seem unshakably calm in the face of chaos? What if I told you that the key to mastering stress and adversity could be found in ancient wisdom? According to a recent study, people who live by Stoic principles report significantly lower stress levels. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, "Do not seek to have events happen as you want them to, but instead, want them to happen as they do happen, and your life will go well." Today, we're diving into the transformative power of Stoicism and uncovering 7 common habits that secretly weaken you and how letting them go can dramatically reshape your life. But before we jump in, I'd really appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe. It's a small action on your part, but it goes a long way in helping me spread Stoic philosophy. And of course, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming content. We all do it, right? Complaining is almost a reflex at this point. Think about it. How many times have you grumbled about the weather, your workload, or just little things that don't go your way? Let's take the classic example. It's a rainy day, and your long-awaited outdoor plans get canceled. You're frustrated, maybe even venting to anyone who'll listen. But what does complaining really accomplish? Does it change the weather? No. Does it solve the problem? Definitely not. Now imagine flipping the script. Instead of focusing on the inconvenience, what if you saw that rainy day as an unexpected gift of free time? Time to dive into that book you've been meaning to read, or finally work on a creative hobby. This is where Stoicism comes in. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Our distress is often magnified by how we perceive the situation, not by the situation itself. By letting go of the habit of complaining, you free up mental energy. And that energy can be channeled into areas of your life where you can make a difference. Personal growth, building meaningful relationships, contributing to your community. It's not about pretending life is perfect, it's about controlling your response to what happens around you. When you stop complaining and start looking for solutions, you create a ripple effect that not only changes your life, but also impacts those around you. Have you ever replayed an embarrassing moment over and over again in your mind? Maybe it's that presentation where you stumbled over your words, or a past argument with a friend you can't seem to let go of. Dwelling on mistakes is a mental trap. It's like being stuck in a loop of regret and guilt that pulls you away from the present. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, gave us a golden piece of advice. Do not dwell on the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Stoicism encourages us to see every experience, especially the tough ones, as opportunities to learn. Instead of obsessing over what you did wrong, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I do better next time? Let's say you hurt a friend with something you said. Instead of spiraling into guilt, a Stoic would advise you to take responsibility, apologize, learn from the mistake, and move forward. It's not about ignoring your errors. It's about using them as fuel for growth. Remember, the past is unchangeable, but the actions you take right now are completely within your control. It's human nature to want to avoid pain and discomfort, but let's be real. Life's greatest accomplishments are rarely born from ease and comfort. Picture this. You're in a stable, well-paying job, but deep down, you've always wanted to start your own business. The thought of leaving that stability terrifies you. What if you fail? What if it's hard? Here's where Stoicism flips the script. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Hardships are the path. When you face them, you grow stronger. Just like training for a marathon, it's not the finish line that matters as much as the grueling hours of practice, the discipline, and the perseverance that gets you there. The struggle itself is what makes you resilient. Stop avoiding hardships. Embrace them as stepping stones to something greater. We live in a world that tells us that happiness is in the next purchase, the next meal, the next dopamine hit from social media. But overindulgence can make us slaves to pleasure. Let's say you spend hours on your phone scrolling through social media, looking for that next hit of entertainment. What starts as harmless fun turns into hours wasted, a to-do list untouched, and in the end, you're left feeling unfulfilled. Seneca put it perfectly. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. Stoicism isn't about denying yourself joy. It's about moderation, about enjoying pleasures without letting them control you. This balance leads to a deeper, more lasting sense of fulfillment. We've all been there, putting off that big task until the very last minute. Whether it's preparing for an exam, starting a project, or even having a tough conversation, procrastination is a thief of time and peace. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Stoics often practice memento mori, a reflection on mortality, not to be grim, but to remind ourselves that our time is limited. Procrastination is not just a delayed task. It's life slipping by. Every moment we procrastinate is a moment we could have lived more fully, achieved more, or grown in some way. Resentment is like holding on to a hot coal, waiting for the right moment to throw it at someone, except the only person who gets burned is you. Maybe you're holding a grudge against a friend or a colleague, but that anger and bitterness only affect you. Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Forgiveness isn't always about the other person. It's about freeing yourself. When you let go of resentment, you reclaim your mental space and emotional peace. Lastly, let's talk about one of the most paralyzing habits, fear of failure. How often have you held back from chasing a dream because you were afraid you wouldn't succeed? Seneca said, it is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. Failure isn't the end, it's part of the process. Each failure brings valuable lessons that move us closer to success. So instead of fearing failure, embrace it. Take the leap. If you fail, learn from it and try again. That's how real growth happens. Now let's turn this reflection into action. In the comments below, share which habit you're committed to letting go of or how Stoicism has impacted your life. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, exciting news. You can now join our Stoic Bond community, where you'll get exclusive perks like priority responses to your comments, special member badges, and more. Plus, your name will be featured at the end of each video as a thank you for being a part of this growing community. Thank you for your continued support, and until next time, stay wise, stay resilient, and keep embracing the power of Stoicism.